orders from the king. Have you any last words?
Your king was nothing more than an illusion my grandfather conjured up.
You'd better start explaining, Merlina.
Thank you for pointing that out. Just, you thought I was going to leave this unfinished? I guess not. We're just going to carry on, because we were supposedly picking up the pieces, but it looks like things are starting to kick off.
Merlina!
What was that?
You! How did you come by that scabbard? Where is the king?
Wait.
You mean the king we were just told was an illusion?
A puff of smoke. Just like one of the knights of the underworld.
How about that? How does that work?
There was never any King Arthur.
Huh?
Well done. And thank you, Sonic.
I'm not liking how... I don't like where this is going. And I don't like how you're just clasping that scabbard.
Greatest mistake.
Oh, she's went all long hair, all wavy, so she's going for the creepy vibes. Oh no, and the music's picking up.
Shall make this kingdom eternal.
Yes, I shall lock everybody in a cyberspace hellscape for the rest of time, feasting on the souls of all the other worlds, because I remember that being a big thing in Dawn Trail. Anyways. Oh, this is like one of the few actual FMV sequences we get in the game. Still, I'd say looks pretty good to this day. And of course, Blaze just looks back to look. Sorry, just having a bit of a late meal. But it's a shame, because this, I dare say, is one of the cool looking cinematics we've gotten out of the Sonic series. Is that a speaking... Yes, it is a speaking sword. Yeah. Trailer shots. And of course, we gotta reach the goal. And I have to remember the controls, because it's been a little bit. Just hit the right bumper and hope it... Ah. Nice, perfect chaos looking fellas. Nice little thing I've noticed is that there doesn't seem to be any live counter, which is nice. What would be extra nice was, like, there we go, could get some rings. All I know about this game was Knights of the Round Table. Well, here's a good chance for you to, learn. Or it would be if I could actually, get past some of these without dying. I must say, I must apologize, this must be pretty embarrassing, all things considered. Again, just like Secret Rings, there is infinite lives. You know, I'm just gonna bypass all these real quick, just don't mind me, don't mind me. Get out of my way, please. There we go. I gotta say, this is a pretty cinematic looking section. Or at least it would be if I could fight my way through all this. What could Merlina possibly be doing siding with the well, I guess she is a bit of a witch, so... Bit of a generalization on her front. Oh. Okay. I don't remember whether you could actually cut through the water like that with the sword. I mean, it makes sense. Kind of. Why did you end yesterday's stream with that? Because I thought it was funny, alright? I thought it was funny at the very least. Haha. Let's see, just gotta keep rushing ahead and... Yeah, you just gotta hack your way through the water. Out of the way, please, everybody. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, high ancient magic as opposed to regular magic, which is not ancient or anything. Let's see what's up here. Looks like this... Aha! More treasure. You know, I've been thinking for a little bit past last stream, just... I think I may have mentioned this before, but I really feel as though 2009 was like a fairly high point for this particular era of Sonic, in my opinion. Though, I'm not entirely certain if that's all that really founded, considering it was mostly just based upon this game and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, so... I think the main thing is, there's a lot of nostalgic callbacks to this game, which sort of, I kind of feel diminish the callbacks brought back in generations, because it's just like, we've been through this already with all these other games, so the novelty's kind of diminished in my opinion. I mean, it's... Generations was still a fine enough game, just... wasn't exactly ever, all that special in my eyes in terms of the nostalgia pops compared to this game. Oh! Now this is nice. Villagers just, offering to hitch us a ride whilst the entirety of the castle is falling apart along with all their livelihoods. Where exactly are all these people gonna go now with the castle just being made into a hell fortress, being made into Ganon's castle? This is like an Ocarina of Time situation where the entire castle town is just replaced with zombies. Of course you'd say that, Sonic. Everything's just a game to you, isn't it? It's just... Get out of here, you. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Kind of confused. Do we want to go up here, game? Do we want to go up... Oh. There we go. That's the way we go. That's the way we wash our hands. See, I'm remembering this stuff, because it's been, like, years since I last played this. Just, gotta casually fly over the... Oh, hey, it's the full swinging from Heroes, remember? Remember that? Remember Sonic Heroes? Remember when these games were good? Sometimes I wish I could forget. Also, nice of these little poles here, just, materialize in segments. Yeah, I really don't like these, amoeba-looking, enemies. Fairly new-looking ones, I dare say. Kind of remind me of the Artificial Chaos. You have as much fun as I did. Oh, you and your antics, Sonic. Never change, except you did, for the worse. 2 stars, about what I'd expect. Bacon. Oh, so yeah, I went back and altered my title, so now it looks, nicer. Yep, new emblem components, new stuff. I suppose that's a good point, actually. I didn't actually, mouse tail. Let's see, a Tome of Armor, Superior Antidote, Cursed Spear, and that'll do for the time being. I'm pretty sure in certain levels you can actually get the world rings.
Merlina's plot.
It keeps spreading.
It's only a matter of time before the kingdom is consumed.
This is all your fault, Sonic.
The Knights of the Round Table. Must we simply stand and watch our kingdom's ruin?
Gawain.
What? Are you gonna give up just like that?
That's the spirit,
Is that the
Sonic.
best that chivalry of yours can do?
How dare you?
How dare you?
It's like I said before. Isn't there more to being a knight than serving a king?
Yeah, you're supposed to be champions of the people.
Sir Sonic is right. And there's still
All the people
time
which are now
to
dead in the
fight
castle.
now. Use the sacred swords to form a barrier around the castle.
Ah. Seems kind of reminiscent of Breath of the Wild in that sense.
For the kingdom and its people.
For the kingdom and its people!
Yeah.
I'm
I'll bravely watch you die from the sidelines.
I'll look for a chance to jump in.
Surely you jest.
Nah.
Don't call me Shirley.
That's how I roll.
Fare thee well. We too shall fulfill our appointed task.
Not sure I should point this out, but it's... Ah yes, we get a whole bunch of new adventures. 3 Knights of the Round Table are now usable in all the areas highlighted in red. Right here, all the ones highlighted in red, all 4 of them. These are the ones where we're able to play as the Knights of the Round. That being said, we're going to start off with Shrouded Forest. This is just a standard beat the clock thing right here. Also, style change weapon. We now get the option to craft items. Let's see what we can craft. So obviously we got Arendite. I just want to go through this real quick because fairly soon there's a whole, yeah, Medal of Percival right here. The ones with the medals are usually ones for which you require, these are basically the ultimate weapons for all the characters. I don't think we're going to be going into that today, but it's still a neat little detail. But yes, we're just sort of stuck with Arendite, Galantine, and Levatine. Pretty sure that's how it fares. So yeah, I'm not entirely certain there's any reason not to just immediately go for the ultimate weapon, but it's a nice little thing regardless. Oh yeah, and you can also equip all the items for all the other characters. So in Blaze's... oh. So they all have different equipment slots. Blaze has 3, Sonic and Shadow have 2, Knuckles has 1. But Medal of Percival, we're just going to put that on there. I'm going to say Petrification. Ace of Spades if you like to gamble. Yeah, let's just go with that for the time being. Let's just get into this. We even have the nice little fortress as well. We're going with Lancelot because this is technically his mission. And of course Shadow is going through with the reverse grip, which makes no sense to use with a longsword. Oh, so yeah, I really do quite like the environment here. Really just feels like something you would see in an MMO. Though on the other hand, it sort of reminds me of in Sonic Riders and Zero Gravity, where you get alternate versions of tracks you've already been to, like this with Deep Woods, for instance. Also, yeah, this is for his Soul Surge, Shadow uses Chaos Control, or in this game's case, it's Chaos Punishment, or Chaos Point and Click, as some people tend to mishear. Come on, and Shadow just he still uses it in the right grip, the standard grip, so why even bother? Like, Shadow, you're just making more difficult work for yourself. Just hold the sword the right way, man. Like, I get doing it for knives, it's standard long swords, it really doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I think aside from that, Shadow, or Lancelot rather, plays fairly similarly to Sonic, which is sort of par for the course, given it is Shadow. Ah yes, fly, even though I have no wings. Because even without wings, I can still fly, right? Yeah, I don't remember those... I think I remember those trees being kind of annoying. Also, these nice little spores, just really letting you know that... Game, can you please just let me proceed? This is embarrassing. We have places to be. Okay, I think it is just sort of a case of... Game, can you work with me here? Can you not embarrass me constantly? I mean, I know I'm not very good at this game. You don't have to rub it in. There we go.
It should launch me.
Now we just do this. As time stops. I think with how punishment works, especially once you get Shadow's ultimate weapon, there's really no harm in giving the whole double kill bonus thing. The wooden belts, rather. I'm fairly certain there's particular items which are generally super good on all the characters, though. I'm not entirely certain if it's necessarily the biggest thing in the world. It's more so for optimization, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong, because I'll be honest, never really did sort of get into the major super 100%ing phase of this game. It was more so enjoying this in a casual sense. Well, I suppose since we're not going to be getting it this particular time around, you can also get a medal for Lancelot, which plays the Crush 40 version of All Hail Shadow, which naturally is... It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Especially given this particular era where that just became Shadow's theme. But kind of odd it's not throw it all away, considering that was also used in this game. Oh, so yeah, Shadow also has a fairly slow, spinning slice there. Definitely a lot slower than Sonic's. Let me just, go back and grab this. I will say, though, it is definitely powerful. I feel like that's generally your bread and butter move. At least for a beginner like me. Really wanted you to make use of that whole jump dash for these particular segments, huh? There, he said it. He said the thing from Heroes. He said the line. I feel we're getting a lot of these sort of situations here in this game. Also, a lot of these funny jump ramps. Also, for clarification, yes, you can go for this with any of the 4 characters, which, needless to say, from my experience, the easiest one to play would be Gawain, for reasons which will become more apparent once we get to... I forget the name of the I forget the name of the level already. Yeah, there were quite a few enemies in here, I must say. Somehow survived that.
That's it?
Ah yes, just in a peace in the Great Deku Tree. In the Great Deku Tree. It's just nice and peaceful in here, weirdly enough.
All's well that ends well.
Just gonna take this time to take some bites out of my eggs. We had a big lunch scene, just went out to eat because it felt like it, and I suppose fitting enough for this game had a nice chili dog. Yay, level up. New skills, new things, it's all good. Let's see. Plant thorn, a dart, daffodils. Oh, pearl necklace, wonderful. Get points for collecting fairies when worn. Pretty nice. So yeah, these two seem like they tend to go together. It's like they stack. Oh, so yeah, this whole area is just for Shadow. Well, fortunately, I happened to forge the ultimate sword in the meantime, so I can just leave this here.
That sealeth the dark hollow.
Dark Hollow.
Dark hollow? What is Merlina up to now?
Interesting. What exactly is Merlina up to, indeed? Oh, so yeah, we get a whole bunch of different quests here. We're not going to be worrying about that for the time being. We're just going to go on to the Great Megalith with Gawain. It really feels as though these 4 levels right here are like the highlight of the game, considering you can just play as all these extra characters for the last time until Frontiers. I will admit it is definitely funny to just see Knuckles absolutely just cleave through enemies like this. Just become the mincing machine. But the main plus about using Gawain/Knuckles here is his glide, meaning you could just glide over enemies like this. It's kind of satisfying to pull off. Yeah, I will admit I definitely do miss the 4Kids cast, to be perfectly honest, especially just... People back then always said that Dan Green was like the best voice for Knuckles, and... I'd still say second best. Also, here is his Soul Surge. You saw it in the boss fight where he just throws his swords at you, like boomerangs. Well, I admit, Knuckles/Gawain, super satisfying to just cleave for enemies. Also, yeah, just casually, just giant Warcraft-looking ogres in these giant crates. Just, what are they planning on doing with those things? Also, Knuckles naturally has the best climb because you can actually steer it properly. It's just like his normal climb, except you just have to mash the A button for it. Come on, fall. Whee! Yeah, I will admit as well, I feel this is one of my favorite areas, at least visually in the game. Just really feels as though it stands out a fair bit. Kind of annoying that he does sort of get stuck in place after a while, but I guess it's good for sort of standoff occasions. Otherwise, just light taps. That's all you really need. Ah yes, giant prison filled with the people that we're supposed to be tasked with saving Knuckles. We need to save them. I'm pretty sure there's a mission dedicated to this here. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh. Sorry, man. I suppose chalk that one up for the tally list, huh? Okay, the foaming on that is pretty funny, though. Of course, passing through that, we come up to just how many people have they got locked up in here, and for what purpose? What does Merlina need with so many souls? A way to fuel her eternal kingdom or whatever. I'm guessing that's not exactly the subtext, but you do gotta wonder, why are they keeping so many prisoners here? What does Merlina need with so many imprisoned townsfolk? Not entirely certain if that was the proper intention there, but cannot but just immediately think of it coming to mind. Come on, break open. Break open. There we go. And filled with spiders. Yeah, really starting to remind me of old ancient Downs, and of course Knuckles breaking through walls. It's like, oh yes, these ruins were like here for possibly millennia. Let's just smash through them. Let's just spray orange paint on them while we're at it. There you go. Yeah, I think of all four of these levels, I think this one is definitely my favorite, with the last one being a close second. Do you mind? Ooh, what's in the chest? What's in the chest? Just, well, this is interesting. Kind of reminded me of Cannon's Core a little bit in here with the lighting. Ah, and that's the end of the level. Did pretty good, all things considered. Pretty good to boot. Again, you have to apologize for me, I have to apologize for eating midstream, just... Timing was pretty off, unfortunately, in terms of... Ooh, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. Ultimately unused. Let's see. Pendant of Eons, number of Oh, that's pretty neat. That'll be pretty neat. So poison brooch, chain bracelet, rusty. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. It's gonna be pretty good for getting all the ultimate weapons. Not that I'm actually gonna be doing that this stream. I'm actually curious as to what I'm gonna be doing after I do away with the final boss, because there's still a whole bunch of...
Sacred sword pierces stone, so shall return the power.
The power to what?
Caliburn, greatest of all sacred swords. The king wore its scabbard, but I never saw the sword.
Yeah, he did say he wielded this sword called Death Caliburn. I wonder what that's all about. Great Megalith, let's see. Oh, Die Hard Challenge. Let's just, not go with that. And instead, let's move on to the Cauldron. The controversial the more controversial, stage in this game. Mostly because, from what I could tell, the music for it was stolen from another game. For the Sega CD. So, in the graces of that, we're just going to, use the Medal of Percival to not listen to it. And instead, Villanova. I mean, of course it would be Villanova for Blaze. That's like the one theme she has, and, Blaze's whole thing is, I would say about precision, her combo... She has a whole lot of gap closers. I think more suited for smaller arrays of targets, as far as I'm aware. Also her Soul Surge. Let's have a look at her Soul Surge. It's her Flame Tornado attack. I think arguably the weakest of the Soul Surges, but that's just me. Also, I don't exactly remember what her air ability is like. Let's have a look. Oh, she has a double jump. One with not that great range. Yeah, this is why I don't really like the Cauldron. This is like my least favorite of the bunch. Because like, oh boy, bottomless pits over lava. I will admit though, this stage is definitely quite cool. Especially at a later portion. Honestly though, I think it may just be because I'm using a controller, but this is not as bad as I remember. Well, I struggle to call that a double jump. It's about as anemic as the one in Forces. Yeah, Blaze is all about fast attacks. I will say, personally, my favorite of the whole bunch would definitely be Gawain. Oh, yeah. Suppose I should be making more use of that, huh? Just, her air attack is just a jump dash. Which I should, in all seriousness, be using to bypass a lot of this stuff if I can actually... Oh great, I'm all the way back here. Wonderful game. Yeah, that's I think what you're supposed to do. I'm guessing I'm gonna get a 1-star for this stage, but I'm not entirely surprised because I was prepared for that. I don't particularly care for this stage, so... It's fine. Yeah, I will admit, Blaze / Percival. Better character than I remember. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm enjoying her playstyle a lot. Which is weird, because I figured that I'd be more so thinking, you know, Sonic and Shadow are roughly the same, then Gawain at the top above them, and then Blaze below, but starting to have second thoughts, actually. Okay, so I can't do the double jump. Let me restart, actually, so we can actually get a better time. A little bit embarrassing, I know, but you'll have to just bear with me. just means we get more time with Blaze, a character which I feel I've sort of shorthanded in recent times, just in the sort of mindset that everything post, say, Heroes should slash Shadow the Hedgehog should be discarded, but I really do gotta feel bad for Blaze, because you have this character which a lot of people like, myself included. Let me just get that out of the way, first of all. I do like Blaze. And then you just have her in this situation where she can't really appear in any games. And if she does, she, as a result, ends up with basically no lore to her name, and instead all the, thing about her living in an alternate dimension and being a princess is sort of thrown out the window because, oh, we can't really do anything with it, so may as well just say nothing interesting happens in the soul dimension. Thanks, Ian. I'm not sure it's 100% Ian's fault, but then again, I feel as though a lot of things can be sort of blamed on him, to be perfectly honest. I'm not entirely certain as to whether I should go into this, but one thing that I think a lot of people, myself included, have noticed is that it really feels as though Sonic Team, because this isn't as much of a problem as in IDW as so far as I've heard, it really feels as though they really struggle to write female characters. And that they all have to be these flawless characters which can do no wrong and basically be all devoid of personality and be boring, and obviously not a lot of us like that, especially considering it comes at the expense of romantic interactions, which is what characters like Amy and Rouge were designed for in the first place, supposedly being romantic counterparts for the Sonic and Knuckles respectively. And it's like, if that's the case, then... Or Ian was suspected. Yeah, there's also that. Just... Again, you remove, like, the core of all these particular characters, and then they're just sort of left as hollow husks, so there's... It sort of feels as though there's not really any points in them being there aside from the fact that they're girls. And so nobody's particularly happy with it. To the point where I'm sort of wondering whether or not, because, well, I would like for them to be returned to their 2000s characterization, like most people do. Me thinks for the foreseeable future that seems like unlikely to happen, so I'm wondering whether they, at some point, they'll just bite the bullet and just be like, you know what? Let's just remove all these female characters at one point or another, just because we can't really think of anything to do with them. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened at one point. You can probably tell I do not like the Cauldron. You know, we'll keep going at this for a little bit, and then, worst case scenario, we'll just swap over to Gawain and not have to deal with any of this. Because, yeah, I think this is why I wasn't particularly a big fan of Percival. It's like, her fighting style is cool and all, and she has a lot of cool traversal options, just doesn't seem particularly well suited for something like this, which is kind of odd, because this is supposed to be her level. I don't think she has any particular stuff she can really do with her soul surge in this situation either. Well, admit that is pretty satisfying to pull off, even if it isn't exactly the most effective. Add him away, add him away. Yes, greetings. I assume you had a pretty rough time with 14. I'm having a pretty rough time as it is with good old Percival here. There we go, finally got through it. Half done. That was only the first half, and yeah, I think this is the main area which I quite liked about the Cauldron, this in particular segment, where it's like, ah yes, I can it's like a reenactment of Bionicle. I could just pretend I'm Toatahu here. Even though in reality, Blaze should look like Anakin at this point, just bumping around in the lava. Oh yeah, this is another thing that I don't quite like about Blaze's moveset here. Just, for some reason, she just gets locked into this stabbing animation. Doesn't quite feel as flexible, but at the very least she can maneuver, so it's not as bad. I just remember Gawain's being particularly better, mostly I guess because of range. Anyways. Here we are, and this particular quite spooky landscape. This is another area I quite like, actually, in terms of visuals. It's quite spooky. Kind of reminds me of the Dark Garden. Out of my way. Yeah, quite a fun armor piercer there. Oh yeah, and here comes another particular part of the level which I'm not exactly fond of. This particular wall traversal segment. It's fairly easy to do with Knuckles, but I don't really like Blaze's whole thing here. Well, you mash the A button and she runs along the wall, which seems cool. But it's kind of finicky. Oh. Real nice game, real nice. How's this going for you? As you can probably tell, I'm not entirely the biggest fan of the Cauldron. We've gone past the worst of it, I believe. It's just that wall segment I don't particularly like. I'm pretty certain it's doable. It's just going to be annoying because it's been a little bit, and I really do wish that they just set the checkpoint after this whole scripted sequence, or at least had a checkpoint. Yeah, I don't particularly care for the range on this. Started around half an hour ago, was a neat boss, definitely seeing more and more cracks cropping in the narrative. This is only the beginning, Vel, unfortunately. This is only the beginning. This is just the warning signs. Come on, give me the... Oh, nice. You jump on the guys to get rings and more enemies. Oh, I ran out of time. Alright, that's, I kind of forgot this was a timed mission, so... Here's what we're gonna do. Hardtack. We finally found it. Yeah, we're just gonna go for this as Knuckles. Sorry, Percival, but we got places to be. I mean, you could say at the very least I tried.
Here I go.
Oh yeah, and we get to hear the stolen music. Because I remember that about this particular level, that for some reason they thought, oh yeah, let's just steal music from this obscure Sega CD game. Nobody will notice. Except years later they did, and it's just like, oh no. So much for getting any sort of remaster of this game, huh? Anyways, yeah, just pretend we're still playing as Blaze. Just pretend. And watch this. Even when I take damage, I can still recover as Gawain, because Gawain's just the best in the game. Especially... It really is super weird, because it really feels as though Gawain is particularly made for this particular level, because it's got a whole bunch of gaps for him to glide over. It's got that wall segment. It's got a whole bunch of enemies for him to mow down, just... I really do gotta feel bad, because Percival just... Her playstyle is cool, it's just not as good as Gawain's, and it's just like, why wouldn't I just play as Gawain? It's sad, I know, but... Heck, he's even more fitting with the color palette as well. It's just sad, really. Because I was going on this whole thing about how I liked Blaze and how Sonic Team / Ian Flynn doesn't know how to write female characters, and now the whole bit's ruined. Stolen or properly reused. I don't remember the exact details of it. I just remember there was a bit of a controversy around it at some point. Yeah, that's Gawain for you. He can still fight back from the Never mind. I think you can probably tell I hate this level. I can definitely see a lot of people just sort of giving up after this, because this is not good. Also, I should probably think of some more game, please. I'm trying to. I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner. Can you please just lay up on me a little bit? Make me look good. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip by you real quick. We have places to be. I was thinking, oh, I'm wondering how I'm gonna fill out the rest of the stream once the whole ending's over, and that's assuming we actually get to the ending in the first place. Yeah, it really feels as though Gawain is much better suited for this kind of work. Come on. I mean, especially these spider enemies, which just rush you. What the? I can't believe it! Yeah, it's just this segment in particular which is throwing me off. So we do that. We buzz through all the enemies here. We jump now. There we go. Halfway there. See? You get a lot more range with Gawain's attack as well. He just does his spin. Hey, he said the thing from Heroes again. It feels like this game reuses a lot of lines from Heroes, I've noticed. Like, we got Shadow's Just Watch This earlier, now we got What a Wild Ride. As if I could ever forget. Oh yeah, with the color palette, Knuckles here really does seem rather reminiscent of Tahu. Especially just riding on the lava here, just like in the promotional material. Just sort of casual hint for what I'm going to be doing between Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy VI right here. Finally done with that. Yeah, it feels as though it's real. That is one way of punishing you for getting into those guys. Is just have a whole bunch of enemies spawn under you. Also, kind of funny just how all these crows can just spawn in a volcano. I will say though, something about this does seem rather reminiscent of Xenoblade in my mind. Not sure what it is though. Particularly Sartor Marsh. Anyways, yeah, Knuckles can more easily traverse this particular part of the area. So we're just going to casually mash A button until we win. Yeah, this really also does kind of remind me of Bionicle Mask of Light as well. Just Tahu using his flame swords to climb up that rock ridge. Alright, it seems as though I need to defeat all the enemies to advance. Real wonderful game, it's not as though I'm on the clock. Come on, come to Knuckles. Okay, I think that's the worst of it. Yeah, now we get our scripted sequence. Look how cool this looks. Oh, and that was the end of it, thankful. Mercy.
I didn't use all my strength.
My eggs are cold after that. Bacon's still nice, though. Let's see, we got more hardtack, more marigolds, more topazes. It sort of reminds me, been wondering where I should do a watch-along of Sonic X at some point. Assuming that I'm allowed to, that is. I reckon that could be a fair bit of fun. potentially. Oh yeah, Blaze was definitely here this whole time. Yeah, I do. I don't know, something about Blaze and a just cat-like face on that helmet is kind of adorable, I will admit. That's on her non-existent I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Anyways, after that, we get the counterpart to Crystal Cave, the Doggin's Lair. This one, obviously, is for Sonic. But first, let's see if our status... Cavalier Star. Let's see what this looks like. We got Speed Up, Landing Perfect Royal Guard. Let's just go. I quite like the music for Dragon's Lair as well. There's a lot of music in this game I quite like. Oh yeah, get the guitars rolling up. And the pink crystals as well. This really does look like a 14 dungeon. I miss when Sonic did the whistle. There's a lot of things about the 2000 Sonic which I generally quite miss. Can you move, please? Well, great. I don't remember this one being as... You're making me look bad, game. Can you please stop? Okay. Almost forgot about the stomp. Yeah, Sonic's whole art fighting style is mostly about moving forward, I've noticed, whereas the others it's more stationary. Oh. Eep. Yeah, that was particularly nerve. Let's just retry. Let's just retry. It's fine. I should have known these levels would be a bit trickier than the others. Yeah. I think it goes without saying, but I think a lot of us just tend to miss a lot of this this sort of attitude from Sonic. There we go. Just gotta cleave our way through like it's nobody's business. And of course we have these spiders here, which I'm not sure, it seems as though Sonic tends to struggle with them compared to the others. Oh nice, just spawn me right in a whole bunch of them without any rings. Thanks, game. Just gonna jump over all of you because I can. Just want to get this done. I wasted too much time with the cauldron as is. I got places to be. Swing, game. I'm trying. There we go. I do quite like the fact that the fairy things here have like little Chow emblems on them. It's just these cute little details which I miss. Game, please. If I die here, I'll die. Exactly. I'm wondering whether or not I'm gonna have more trouble with 06, considering that's what the poll seemed to indicate I was gonna play next. I just put that on there on a whim. I was actually planning on doing colors next, but I don't know, I just figured, you know what, let's just put 06 in there. It's been a little bit, and I want to sort of gauge the crowd. And what do you know? People want me to play 06. Surprise. Can't say I'm particularly surprised about that. I guess even though it's been like 19 years, people still want me to talk about it. There we go. Nice little funny electric dragon. Oh, this is kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Levitating Ruin. I guess just casually saying, oh yeah, we're just riding on these cool little Thunder Dragons. It's no big deal. Thunder Dragons that live in crystals. Like, okay, game, whatever you say.
Go quickly now. We're running out of road here.
I'm trying, alright? Oh, thanks, game. It's like, yay! It's not as though I could have done anything to avoid dying there.
This is some kind of dragon too?
Yeah, it really feels as though those spider enemies are ones that Sonic and I guess to an extent Lancelot aren't particularly good against.
Take too long and there won't be any road left.
I'm trying, alright? Oh, and for some reason I didn't take damage there. Thanks, game. Thanks a whole bunch, game, for screwing me over at every opportunity. Alright, let's see if this changes up somewhat, because... Oh, from above as well, nice. Trying, game. Game, I'm trying here. Please. Well, at least I guess I know what to expect. I suppose it's kind of like Dragon's Lair in that sense, where, or Mega Man, where it's just trial and error. You don't have to worry too much about lives, so it's more just sort of when I get through, I guess. Oh, so that's what they meant to game. Thanks a whole bunch for that warning, Caliburn. Ugh. Yes, I'm assuming it is a kind of Dragon Sonic, considering we've been through this whole rigmarole before. Can we get... Can we please make it through this in good time, please?
Go quickly, now! We're running out of road here!
Trying, game. It also seems really easy to just run out of rings here, I've noticed.
Enemies from above too? Danger comes. Uninvited guests.
There we go. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. Oh, I think I've made it to the... At last, we're done with that particular segment. Let's move on to whatever this is. Really don't like how those guys knock me back constantly. It's just really quite nerve-wracking with all these bottomless pits. Game! Oh no, not these clowns. Not these clowns. Please, just give me rings. Oh. Okay, I think the worst is behind us. Just a little bit more. Okay, game. I'm trying, game. These clowns aren't letting me through. There we go. Just trying to get a soul surge off, if anything. Just... Please. 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 I can see the exit. I'm guessing a 1 star. I don't care as long as it's done. 2 stars. I'll take it. Just gonna finish off my bacon and eggs in celebration. That being said, I think the worst of it is behind us now. Because it's just the boss, then the final boss, I think, and then we're done. Then I'm left wondering what I'm gonna do next. Come on, get on the fork. Again, apologies for this. Okay, Tone of Rings. Quasi-Magic Stone. Bronze Longsword, Rusty Helmet. Yeah, I think we're just gonna move on. Next! Dragon Slayer. Here's the main challenge, I think, and we get special music for it as well. This sounds familiar. It really just seems to be us just casually going down these whole areas that we've gone down before. Now with rings. How very generous of you, game. Just giving me a whole bunch of stuff before the boss fight. And a whole bunch. Look at the bones! Look at the bones!
Let's get this party started. Never underestimate your opponent, especially.
Yep, it's another Dargan. I think you get a particularly cheeky line of dialogue here from Sonic at some point. Okay, and then you just mash. Da-da-da. And then you just chase him around in circles till you beat him, as far as I'm aware. What's with all that running around? I know, game. Ah. He's doing the whole bullet hell thing, I've noticed. You aren't gonna scare with those tactics. Yeah, from what I remember, this was a pretty big highlight of this particular game. Never throw caution to the wind. Hey, I embody the wind, that's what I do. Yep, and he's combining all of them now, and in a nice little combo. Yeah, I think for this third and final phase, he takes multiple hits to. Thanks a whole bunch, game. Just sniping me out of midair like that. Come on, up we get. I think one more should do it. Potentially. Be gone!
Now that's what I call a battle.
Yeah, from what I heard, apparently, Sonic is supposedly supposed to make some sort of comment in this fight about how this dragon reminds him of the Bio-Lizard. I can definitely see the resemblance, but I've never actually heard it myself, so I kind of wonder whether or not it's a myth. Proficiency in Cavalier increased. And for we get Dargan Claw. Ah, carry points for gaining for defeating 3 enemies simultaneously, so that should proc well with the wooden belt. Burnt bread. Ah yes, just what the old people like. Acts as a reduction agent. And the Dragon Ice Stone, which I think is a pretty important crafting material for the ultimate weapons, meaning you have to go through this a whole bunch of times.
This must be it.
And that's all 4 sealing stones.
Now, Sonic. Here goes.
So I'm guessing that Caliburn doesn't actually have to stay in the stone for long. Oh! Looks like the darkness is being contained. Except not really. Is it just the barrier's weak, or just the darkness is very, very strong? We gotta have that notification. We gotta have that sort of notifier here, Amy. Anyways, let's go into this Chin Chin Maru. Yep, we are doomed, and here we are with arguably the best scene in Sonic for Sonic. Dark Hollow, here we go. Defeat the Dark Queen. Boss fight time. Swish, swish, stab.
I've been expecting you.
We've been waiting for you.
Just one question before we settle this. Why'd you do it?
Yeah, we are gonna fight here, right?
Trying to save this kingdom from the underworld?
As opposed to just trying to make peace with one another.
Will fail one way or another. Such is its fate.
Huh?
Do you know what is to become
Ah,
of this kingdom?
breaking the fourth wall a little bit here.
Beats me.
Yeah, I never got that far into the book.
Lancelot and Gawain's rift shall doom the Round Table. Arthur is struck down by his son Mordred. And
You know, we never really got a stand-in for Mordred in this game, I've noticed. Who would play Mordred, you reckon?
This was to be our ideal world, but it will not last. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table will end in ruin.
Yes, especially considering Lancelot kept sleeping with Guinevere.
The King Arthur my grandfather Merlin created led to nothing but mistakes. But I can succeed with the power of the scabbard, creating a kingdom that never ends.
Fueled by the souls of multiple dimensions. See, there's that foreshadowing that seemed to come out of nowhere.
What good is a world that
Ah, this music's so good, and the last good performance of Jason Griffith, everybody,
Deeper than the
as
depths
Sonic.
of the underworld. Do you not understand?
No, and I don't want to.
Based. It's like, you could not possibly understand. It's like, nah, I don't care. Didn't ask. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No way.
Now I shall show you my stand. The High Priestess. I was about to say Empress, but I guess High Priestess would make a bit more sense here. Or Empress, I suppose. So much for a sacred sword. I'm gonna stab you in the— ow! Alright, get over here, let me try this again. Ow! Maybe I'll run at you again and try it again and see how it works.
It is time to end this.
You gotta say, that is a pretty cool looking design, all things considered. Pretty blunt swords, though, I must admit. Warrior of Light, before we fight, please hit my track. Tin ass, don't care. If only we could get more of that sometimes.
No, Sonic, there is no point in continuing.
I'm gonna continue anyway, because I want to.
Never flees his foe.
I'm supposed to be the hero here, right? Oh no, he fell from a tall height, even though he doesn't take fall damage.
Nothing to do with chivalry. Get out of there! Run!
Here we go.
It was never about chivalry for me. I just gotta do what I've gotta do. That's all.
And every person on Twitter in the world sent that particular clip to Ian Flynn.
Light of the sacred sword. Quick,
Now here comes the cool. Now here comes the awesome part, the part everybody remembers about this game. Me included. Now I truly do become the Warrior of Light. With this cool Saint Seiya reference.
that's the greatest of the sacred swords. Excalibur.
The Excalibur was the friends we made along the way. Need a full mix that version of It Doesn't Matter Ace. I'm sure I could find it, but now it's time for the final boss fight.
Could you understand? That's
As she turns into a massive eye.
I am finished with you.
A world— what good is a world that goes on forever? That sounds pretty lame. Here we go. And we got the one banger theme here, which wasn't rendered by Crush 40, even though there was a Crush 40 theme of this song with me.
Wait for your chance to counter while your soul gauge goes up. Listen carefully. Time
Ow.
is everything.
Yeah, don't yet another banger. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me if I, kind of screw up here. I miss this voice direction, man. It's like, Sonic games hardly ever have any good voice direction. This is like one of the exceptions. Alright, I think I have to, recall the fact that I can guard. Except not really, I just have, this dodge. It's a pretty cool dodge, all things considered. Yeah, I think that's just the way you have to do it. You just have to, I know you can fairly easily do it with, time slash, but I'm just gonna, do the hack and slash, because that's what we're here for. It was a real shocker for me, too. Yeah, I missed this whole thing about Sonic. It's like the dialogue in this is actually good. This is usually like a rare instance in Sonic games. Oh, I died anyway. I don't think I've ever actually died in this fight, so that's a bit of a rarity for me, just seeing Sonic drop like a teabag. Sack of potatoes.
We have a good chance to win if you could close the gap. You must wait for your chance to close in for
Kai just rolls with a punch. Exactly, exactly. And it's more so the case that, he doesn't particularly care if someone like Robotnik lives or dies, as far as I'm aware. More so a case that Robotnik and Sonic are both just incredibly stubborn. It's a shame there's no real indication of how her health's doing, or any way to replenish rings. Yeah, we're not doing quite so good at the moment, unfortunately. Then again, it has been a while since I played this, so let me just retry. I don't get why it still keeps the timer when you die. Guess it's punishment, but even then, why not just restart? There is no escape! I mean, it just did.
You must wait for your chance to close in for the kill.
Ow.
Your mistake is you think this is the limit.
So far, this is a surprisingly even match, as far as I'm aware, because I, for obvious reasons. Come on. I'm trying Caliburn, or should I say Excalibur? I am definitely looking forward to playing a game next which doesn't have motion controls, to say the least. Yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to do it. Just, constant perfect hits. It's not a hope or a dream, it's like a hunger, a thirst. There we go, second phase. She's gone all spooky looking look. Ow.
Foolish wizard, you're willing to sacrifice countless others just to escape your own sorrow.
Whee! Yeah, I don't particularly recall this fight being tough. I guess it's just me, sucking at the game, unfortunately. Apologies. Maybe putting it on bump, maybe putting Waggle Wiimote on the bumper wasn't exactly the best of my, decisions. Well, I gotta live with them regardless. I will definitely say that I do definitely get a sense of melancholy from this particular track, which I suppose is quite fitting. Also do quite like the Crush 40 version as well. And I think this is also the last game where Robotnik wasn't the main villain, as far as I recall. Because the only thing that really comes close in that regard is probably stuff like Heavy King and Infinite, and even then that's sort of a cop-out. Especially on Infinite's part. There we go. And that's how you're supposed to do it, I think.
Yeah, it was a shocker for me, too. I'm gonna bring the band.
Heart filled with curiosity. I'm sorry. Just... I have a lot of fond memories of this fight.
Your selfishness is going to be the end of it all. Do you not understand?
I don't mind playing the bad guy every once in a while. There you see, throwing it back in her face. There we go. Second phase again. Getting better. Getting better. We might actually see the end of this pretty soon. This could be the one. There we go. That was surprisingly easy when you knew what you were doing. There we go. Triforce Slash. And now she's just screaming in agony. And what does Sonic do at this particular revelation? Just gives her a thumbs up. I love that. Pretty sure you also get a whole bunch of crafting materials from this fight as well for the ultimate weapons. Not that we're going to be doing that this time around. There we go, Hardy Squire. First try. It wasn't my first try, unfortunately. Let's see what we unlocked. We got the Ice Brooch and another Poison Brooch. I'll take what I can get. And now it's all over. Screams and agony moments.
Merlina, every world has its end. I know that's kind of sad, but that's why we gotta live life to the fullest in the time we have. At least, that's what I figure.
And if you don't do that, you might as well throw yourself off a bridge. Oh, this scene has sort of been ruined for me forever, unfortunately. It's a shame, it's a pretty good scene. At least the first half.
Thanks to you guys.
You can say that again.
Thanks to you guys.
To think King Arthur was but an illusion.
The Knights of the Round Table.
I know, you can still do good for a lot of people. Just
Foolishness
oh,
is this?
I'll say.
what are you saying then?
Have you forgotten who I am? I am the sacred sword Caliburn.
I mean, yes.
Who decides who is worthy of the crown?
So then, you? You are the one.
Yeah, I was never particularly a big fan of this particular revelation, but it's fun nonetheless, especially when they just immediately bow. And, yeah, that's a good way to end things off on. And that was Sonic and the Black Knight proper. That was, shorter than I remember it being, but at the same time, a bit slow and painful at parts, especially just, the cauldron. But regardless, final thoughts on this game. First of all, just, of course, we get the 4th Crush 40th track of the game. It's like, this game really did spoil us. This really just sort of feels like a Swan's 5 Crush 40 tracks in one game. Really, 5. Because we got Fight the Night, we got Through the Fire, we got Night of the Wind, we got Live Life. I might be missing one. But, yeah. Just, I guess in that regard, with all the callbacks to all the old music themes and all the Crush 40 tracks, this really did feel like a swan song for this particular era of the series. Oh, very mix of whip. Fair enough, fair enough. From all ends, which I suppose is fitting considering the theme of Whip Me as well. But yeah, it just really feels like a a proper book closer, as it were, to this particular era of the series. Before the Studiopolis, before the changeover to the Studiopolis cast and the writer changeover to writers, which I personally don't think were a particularly good fit for the series, and more writers, which I don't think were a particularly good fit for the series, going on from Frontiers, but it really just sort of make me sad coming to the end of this, to be perfectly honest, because this and Modern Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games really felt to me just like the moment when it felt to me most that Sonic was back on top, or at least back on form. At least the next game promised to be back on form. With the particular direction they was going with Unleashed, then this, and then it just changed directions with colors, and my first reaction to colors and seeing the Wisp was just one of confusion and, I don't want to say betrayal. Just, I'll probably go more into it when I eventually do get round to colors. Its day is coming. You can be sure of that. But, with some people, colors was a return to form. I mean, yeah. And I think a lot of us just went along with it because the general populace just sort of said that colors was a good game, even though we sort of had to swallow our pride and grin and bear it in the process, because I'm gonna be honest, I think it goes for a lot of us, but there's a lot of stuff about colors which I don't particularly like, so it's gonna be interesting going back to it. I'm not gonna be playing the Ultimate version, though. I'm gonna be playing the good version, the Wii version. Would have been funny if it actually did get a PS2 port, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You know, considering Unleashed it as well. It really is kind of a shame we didn't get more Crush 40 tracks in the series, because I would have really liked Is It You to crop up in a Sonic game at some point. And granted, would like for some Hardline to show up as well, but in terms of Crush 40 tracks, tracks I would particularly would have liked to have seen in a Sonic game, you know, before the whole thing with Johnny, meaning we're probably never going to hear Crush 40 in a Sonic game ever again. Obviously, Is It You is a particular song which I am quite fond of, admittedly, even though some people may disagree. Firewoman, obviously, is a one which I think a lot of people do quite like. Into the Wind. Let's see. Yeah, looking just at a lot of these tracks, they are just renditions of other tracks from the various games. Like, they did a version of Free from Sonic Free Riders. No idea why. Seven Rings in Hand. Still kind of bizarre on my end, just to see NVIDIA on this. Yeah, I think those are the main two which really come to mind, as well as Sonic Youth. Just the fact that Sonic Youth wasn't in Generations is a crime in of itself, in my opinion. But still. Feels like a good note to end on. Oh.
So yeah, that's what happened. To think,
Just some good old 2010 nostalgia.
of King Arthur. But I gotta tell you, it was no picnic.
Yes, we're hitting a clip show now.
Getting something?
What? All the action? All the excitement down to the wire? But man, would have thought I was the real King Arthur.
Yeah, and I just abandoned them to their fate in order to come back out here.
You just forgot about our date!
Oh.
No, it's true, I tell ya. Yep.
Oh. I have a little bit of a bit for this prepared. Just bear with me.
Wait! No! Amy, wait! Put down that hammer!
Hey! You get back here!
And that's how the Sonic series ends, with Sonic getting brutally murdered by Amy. At least that's what I figure. Anyways. Yep, Sonic got nice boated. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for the most part. I think there is one more thing that I do want to do on the stream though, before we wrap up. Just one more thing. Because I think a lot of the rest of this is just extra missions that you can do, just in the Secret Rings sort of style. Like here we got another one which is a Die Hard Chain of Enemies. I'm pretty sure you get a whole bunch of stuff from this, but there's one thing that I want to do in particular here, which is probably going to take up the rest of the stream. Right here. After beating the game, you unlock the super boss. Lancelot returns. Apparently Lancelot was holding back the whole time. So let's see, blacksmith.
Welcome.
Just wondering what I'm gonna need for this. Style change. Attacker. Probably not worth it, but I'm gonna go with Paladin style. Because let's see, defense, protection, let's see, chain bracelet, poison brooch, paralysis immunity, pendant of eons, string of pearls, ton of armor, metal Percival, wooden belt, blah 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 blah. A lot of this I don't think I'm going to need against Lancelot, unfortunately. Let's just go with the pendant of eons. Because I think the main thing is going to be that defense boost. Alright. Let's give it a whirl. This is not going to go well. I'm just going to point that out, because this is the super boss. This seemed kind of weird for me, in all things considered. You hardly ever see super bosses in Sonic games anymore. Oh, real nice to rub it in, Shadow. Yeah, you just gotta back off, I believe, once he starts triggering his Chaos Blast. Because, yeah, he does have Chaos Blast here. Oh, let me show you what you're made of. He said the thing. Yeah, there's a particular gallery video of this particular fight against Lancelot, which is notoriously just blitzes the entire fight in like 10 seconds. And it's... And I remember thinking back at the time, I think everybody else thought this too, that to do that is basically impossible. Yeah, again, don't expect... This is gonna take a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume clashing is a bit of a lost cause here. I would be impressed if I managed to do one clash. Because again, this is... Again, I'll just say it does seem kind of strange that... It's like we hardly get any super bosses in these games. Oh, I actually managed to clash one. Oh, Shadow, where are you? Alright, get over here, Shadow. I have no idea what you're supposed to do in order to blitz him in 10 seconds. I'm just gonna keep going until he dies, I think. This seems like a pretty thematic way to end things off. And of course he just shifts the blame for his bad swordsmanship on Caliburn. Of course he does. Like, the lines here are still fun. It's sort of what I miss from this series. It feels as though nowadays it's not really, it feels sort of fun-averse. I guess that's Twitter for you. Because Twitter is sort of the fun police from my experience. Maybe my best bet is to just mash, actually, when it comes to the clashes. Yeah, that stays out for ages as well. Yeah, just mash it, mash it, mash it. Okay, it didn't work. Mash it. Okay, it didn't work. Yeah, it really feels as though the spin slash is like your highest damaging attack here. Oh, I felt I had something there. Guess it just sort of comes down to jumping at the right time as well. Just did it! Yeah, he said I got a bad feeling about this, Stoll. You know me, I'm all about my Star Wars references, even though it's dead. Oh. Well, that's Lancelot. If you're curious, Sonic saying big oof to Solin's definitely IDW characters in character considering the whole interaction with Surge. That's an interesting question, actually, considering, are we talking in the context just of IDW, or in the context of this game? Ooh, new style available, new character available, ooh. And we get a whole bunch of stuff in this, so... So many collection points. Spongy bread, a herb of calm. No idea why you'd actually want to use the Fawn Anklet, but, yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to do, so... Let's have a look at the rest of the content suite, shall we? Treasury. I'm fairly certain there are certain, legacy challenges in this game you can unlock. In which you, generally speaking, with what you believe to be Sonic's actual personality... I would have figured Sonic would feel a little bit bad about it, at the very least. A little bit more bad about it than he does in the comic, because it is hilarious in hindsight. Just, Sonic making this whole big thing about, oh, I want people to live free, and it's like, this guy died. It's like, oh, that sucks. It's like, he's just doing it all for show. He doesn't actually care about life. Unlike, the actual Sonic I know, where he actually does care about life, so... I think given the chance, maybe Sonic would try to save Starline if he could, or at least feel bad about it, knowing that he probably couldn't do anything. Also, yeah. We got some nice little gameplay reels here of all the boss fights. Let's have a look at the Dark Queen first. I guess this is hints for how to get 5 stars, and as you can see, basically infinite Soul Surge. This must have been infuriating for kids back in 2009. Best one of all, though, Lancelot Returns. Let's see how they fare against Lancelot. Watch this. You thought I was kidding about 10 seconds, right? Just... Yeah. I'm guessing they just maxed out proficiencies for that, though. That's still... That took like 10 seconds. Let's have a look at the Dragon Slayer here. Let's see what they plan to do with the Dragon Slayer. I don't think there's any dialogue for this, unfortunately, so... Yeah, you see there? He just... Guessing maxed out proficiencies, because he just has that sword attack. Where he just swings the Wiimote once and it just does damage. And look at that! He takes it out in one hit. It's like, better get good at the game in order to actually, do the thing. Just do a lot of grinding in order to max out your proficiencies, I guess, because that's the main thing that matters in this game. Let's have a look at King Arthur. Let's see how they fare against King Arthur. The one I suffered against all this time. Oh, so he actually just swings at him, huh? Dev's flexing. Yeah, exactly. It's like, look how good we are at this game compared to you. Oh yeah, we got more books. Ah yes, we got actual character bios. Let's see how they fare compared to Generations. The fleet-footed Hedgehog creates a new legend as the Knight of the Wind with the sacred sword by his side. Oh, we actually get lore here. Born to King Urfa Pendragon and Lady Ingrain, an enemy country's queen with the help of Merlin's trickery. Merlin placed the sword in the stone, claimed that none but the true king could pull it out. At which point they would be put into a coma for 7 years in the Temple of Time. When Arthur broke his sword, Merlin guided him to a lake where he found a sword held aloft by fairy magic. I love how in the artwork, he's just standing there like, bruh. Just look at his stance, it's like, you seeing this? Am I seeing this right? Of course, we got some music here. Camelot Castle, Deep Woods with the Fire, Knight of the Wind full version, Dark Queen, Live Life, achievements, cutscenes. Yeah, I think a whole bunch of stuff we've already seen. That'll make for a fun... Yeah, I was actually thinking of playing through Ocarina of Time at some point, though. Again, got a lot on my plate. Because I got Cyberpunk, I got Final Fantasy 6, I got like, more... I was gonna say more Pokemon stuff, but that's Mondays, I don't know, I'll put it on the table, just as a, as a suggestion. Kind of wondering what I'm gonna do now, though. Let's have a look at the multiplayer. Let's have a look. We got, random, battle giants, work together to defeat the giant ones, defeat the most soldier ones, last man standing, battle. I'm pretty sure they don't allow CPUs here, but look at this, we got Sonic, we got Shadow, we got Gawain, we got, Lancelot, we got Percival, we got Galahad. Silver actually made it into the game, look. As a multiplayer character only. And then, of course, we got the Blacksmith, and we got Amy, and we got, of course, back here, we got Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze as just, reskins of the other characters. Let's... Soul Gauge 50. I'm guessing you really do need to have multiplayer for this, unfortunately, so I guess there's not much we can do here. It's kind of a shame, really, because... From what I recall, they just use a whole bunch of Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure music for the multiplayer stages, as far as I'm aware. It's kind of strange that way. But, yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to do. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good time to leave things off, unfortunately. A little bit short, I know, but I think that was to be expected, unfortunately. So, thank you for tuning in, and next time we're going to be doing the Sonic 06. Because... I asked and you answered, but until then, thank you for tuning in to this. Apologies once again for how short it is, but hopefully I'll be able to make up for it with 06. But until then, take care. Bye-bye.